If I gave a fuck what y'all think I would be doing this? Welcome to the FMFU podcast, the podcast that's from me, for us. Vulgar but true, real and never fake. I'm your host, Reese, and I've got a lot of shit on my mind today, so let's get into it. So the other night I was watching that Jordan Peele produced movie called Him. The plot was about a young football player who grew up watching the GOAT QB. The QB was the GOAT because he had won 7 championships. The kid grows up, becomes a really good quarterback, ends up going to college, and is getting ready for the draft. One night, he's on the field, he's practicing at his old high school, and out of nowhere, someone lurks from the shadows from behind the bleachers, and he gets hit upside his fucking head by the shadowy figure. So of course, this ruins his draft stock, and people are unsure if he's even going to get drafted. Somehow, some way, he ends up on the compound of the GOAT quarterback, who is played by Marlon Wayans. And this movie just gets weird as fuck. So Jordan Peele has been on a pretty good run with his freaky, scary, weirdo movies, but I see exactly why this one got that low-ass score on Rotten Tomatoes, because the shit was just fucking stupid. He's in this compound, all this weird shit is happening. He has to do this drill where he's pounding his head against the other guy's head with their helmets on, and then they keep doing this digital weird coloring video thing where it shows the crack from where he got hit in the head by the shadowy figure, and it shows it getting worse and worse. So you're thinking oh shit, is this nigga gonna die? And then eventually he drinks this red substance, he goes to a party. You come to find out that he actually was drinking Marlon's blood. Then you find out from Marlon that the ritual, why everybody's been, the GOAT, is because the same blood keeps getting passed down from each generation's mentor / GOAT ahead of them. And they have to fight to the death to determine who's going to still be the next GOAT. So Marlon tries to kill him. He ends up killing Marlon by smashing his head in with a helmet, right? So then the motherfucker walks outside, and all the owners of the team, the Saviors, they're outside, they're in the suits, they're in animal masks. It reminded me of, what was that, Taken, where they was wearing the mask? What's one of them weird movies? I can't remember. And they're like, hey, this was all part of the plan the whole time. We knocked you upside your head to get you here, and we have a contract here for you to sign. So he stands there and he debates. And then eventually he's just no, I'm not going to sign the contract. Then this nigga picks up this sword and just starts stabbing and slicing all these fucking owners. And even Marlon's wife, who was played by Kanye's ex-white girl, Julia Fox, she falls and stabs herself on accident, in the neck with a dagger. And then it just ends where he's just covered in blood and I guess never signed the contract. So it's 1 a.m. So I'm scratching my head at the end of this movie. What the fuck did I just watch? Sometimes things are a bit deeper, than the surface level. So I'm okay, I was watching this late. Maybe there's something that I'm missing that I didn't catch during the movie. So I go to look up a synopsis on the movie on Wikipedia and pretty much realized that I didn't really miss anything. And although when the credits rolled and he was holding a sword bloody as fuck at the end, according to Wikipedia, there were I think 2 alternate endings, I guess, that maybe they were post credits or something. And they said there were one where he won the championship with the team and you're just assuming he signed a contract because he won it with the Saviors, which is the team that the previous GOAT was a part of with the weird owners and shit. I guess I don't know how that would make sense since he stabbed everybody and killed everybody, but whatever. And then I guess there's another one where he won the championship with a different team, but Marlon actually didn't die and he sees it on TV or some shit. I see why this movie was budgeted for $28 million and only brought in 27. What the fuck were they thinking? But anyways, happy Friday, people, and welcome to an all new exciting episode of the From Me For Us podcast. And I'm here to do a little last week, first weekend of February recap of this glorious Black History Month. The old saying is that, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Partly why this is true is because you can't tell another person how to feel. The only thing you can do is try to provide insight and persuade them to different views, maybe because it's something that they haven't thought about in that way, and you're enlightening them into new information to say, hey, maybe this will sway your opinion. Um, I'm starting to get to a point in life where everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Just needs to be thrown out the fucking window because a lot of y'all have stupid ass opinions that make zero fucking sense. So let me start off by saying the quote I'm about to start using for the rest of the year, and that is Big Glo don't owe niggas nothing. So without totally rehashing the whole GloRilla situation, basically her dyke sis, aka GloRilla, as the internet is calling her, was saying a week or so ago about GloRilla ain't been looking out for the family, and their mama had 10 kids in total, and it's gotten so bad, and she was so desperate she thought about eating a roach and all this other shit. And, up until this point, I guess she raised like 200K or some shit. So now she's about to try to, take advantage of it and make money, and good for her. But the thing I thought about, because there was a big debate about, when you get money, you do this, you do that, and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, etc. I'm going to tell you this. This might sound selfish. My bottom line is that no one is entitled to shit from me except my kids, period. The whole goal in life is for you to become successful so you can be the seed that grows the roots of the tree for your offspring and your future descendants to flourish. Now, some of y'all privileged niggas aren't necessarily the seed. Y'all came off of a branch, but that's a whole nother story. But either way, this doesn't mean that even if that's the point, that you can't help out other family members such as siblings, parents, cousins, etc., from the goodness of your heart. But you're not entitled to do anything for them. And I think this is where things get misconstrued at times, and everything isn't really a rule per se. I think this is more living on like a principle structure to me. It's just like those people that say, like, when I hit the lottery, I'm buying everybody X, Y, and Z. Man, fuck that. I got a whole different approach for the lottery hypothetical shit that I don't even think about because I don't play the lottery. But let's just say in the world I go and I get my Shad Moss on and I got the goddamn lottery ticket. I ain't giving nobody nothing. I ain't giving you shit. But what I will do is give the people around me the opportunity to showcase what money they need and what they plan to do with it. And I don't mean some shit, nigga. I'm thinking about, nah, nigga, what the fuck you trying to do with this million I'm about to give you? I'm not giving you $1 million so you can go blow it on bullshit and trick on your broke ass hoes. Treat me like you would treat the bank, except this would be a grant. Show me like a real business plan, a real idea. Show me you put some real thought into what you need from me so I can know if this is a good investment or not, even if it is me just giving you the money. It's still my money, and I still need to know what I'm invested in. I mean, even if it's something as simple as a laundry list of debts that you need cleared so you can start fresh. I need to see the list of all them debts, and I need to know that all them bitches is paid once the shit is done, or you're going to probably be dead to me. I just feel like if you can't put in that type of effort for essentially a free million, then you never really wanted to work for it, and you were always just going to only expect a handout. I mean, this is like that whole Jay-Z story where people were on him about cousins on the holidays talking about ideas and they're trying to pitch him stuff, and he's just like, that's not how it works. Like, that's not how money works. You got to show me something. And I know most who don't really listen to what I say and only skim through it like fools, you're only going to hear nobody but my kids and then get defensive and say, well, I was looking for my sister, and that's fine. That's your choice out of the kindness of your heart. But in the circle of life, them kids is the reason we do what we do everything for. Because if life goes how it should go, they're going to be here as well as our own kids long after we're gone. So in the day, family business is family business until it get put on the internet. Then it becomes everyone's business. And since it's out for public consumption, those are my 2 cents. Not getting into a debate with anyone over what they would do or whatever else. This is just how I feel. Nothing more, nothing less. A lot has happened over the past weekend, but it only feels right to kick things off by talking about that new J. Cole album. LP7, Double Disc, the fall off, of course. I never do in-depth song-by-song music reviews, partly because I wouldn't deem this a music pod, but also copyrights. But I want to say, although most are going to say they like the album, I'm going to say, man, I don't really like the album. Like, I don't really like it at all. I just don't like it. I love it. Fucking love this shit. First of all, first listen, I wasn't super impressed, especially with disc 29 or disc 1.
And partly I think it's because honestly, I was working, which can be very distracting in my role as I just have too much going on at once at times. But re-listening when I had zero distractions, understanding the concept of trying to escape your hometown, then at the POV at 39 upon the return. Man, this shit is amazing. This 39 is probably my super bag because it's a combination of the storytelling and some of the samples as well. Like that old dog through and the world is the Ville run is something fucking serious. And the whole world is the Ville. That shit got me ready to go back to my hometown and just ride through the fucking streets slow. Like I ain't been home in like 6 years. Like the shit is crazy, but solid album. Been having it in heavy rotation as well as the Clue Tape track still. So J. Cole definitely got my attention for a while with all the music that he has been dropping. Not to mention he's driving a Honda Civic around and selling CDs out of his trunk like back in the day. I saw he popped over to HU the other day, so why am I surprised, right? But shit like this is what makes things just feel nostalgic, and it really just makes you miss the times when it was just all so simple. Like the track I Love Her Again is just a metaphoric reminder of how reminiscent how things used to be and understanding that it just will never be the same, but we can still cherish the old times while still keeping in contact. Amazing album and a great way to kick off the weekend for real. So that pretty much is what I was listening to all weekend, up even until now. And that was a great way to start Friday. Saturday, pretty chill, me and my boy went, hit the shop, got fresh, wavy, you know what I'm saying? Chilled a bit over my mother's house. And I also spent all Saturday playing Cinderella in the crib because Super Bowl Sunday, honestly, I didn't want to do like no type of fucking chores. So Super Bowl comes on Sunday. I will say that like a lot of people have called it mediocre or a blah game, but to me, I thought the game was pretty good. Not because a win against the Patriots is a win against racism, but if you really know football, then we really shouldn't be surprised at how this game played out. Not even by who won and by the score, but how it was going to be a defensive masterclass. Now, I told niggas that Seattle had a way better defense than Denver, but people wanted to argue about the numbers and how the Patriots had beaten the Texans. But my rebuttal was whether the defenses were first, second, or third by a point or two, it wasn't going to be much of a difference, to be honest. I felt that the Seahawks, because they smacked the 49ers 40-6 and beat the Rams, who actually Matt Stafford showed why he deserved to win that MVP because he was the only one who could put up numbers on Seattle and have no turnovers in all the games that they played. He deserved it. But after them beating them two, like, I'm not shocked. And this shit was just bad for New England. Like, Seattle was making them rookie linemen on the Patriots look like little ass boys. It was really embarrassing as fuck. And I like Drake May, but as the argument was I had a few years ago when people were picking the Mavericks to beat the Celtics and all the Boston fans were feeling like it was some disrespectful stuff, even though they had only beaten teams that all their best players were hurt. I felt the same way this year with the Patriots. And like May was playing terrible in the playoffs. Like they just happened to keep winning because realistically, if you think about like they played the Chargers, I've never been a Herbert believer. What has he shown us for us to believe him in the playoffs? Shit. CJ Stroud, my guy, but that motherfucker just like short circuited and turned into insert whatever worst quarterback you can think of here. It's like he was the one up there seeing ghosts this time, not Sam Darnold. And then, you played the Broncos backup QB. So, we shouldn't be shocked this happened with that type of path. I know people were going to say, well, based on the defensive rankings, I guess this was apparently the toughest path ever. And to be even more fair, to be all the way transparent, I did think to myself that like New England was going to win on some lucky shit or something because it just seems like everything always breaks them niggas' way. But what I realized is that it never always breaks New England's way. It was always breaking Tom Brady's way. That's what it just seems like to me. But even this, though, I'll say, even though it was belt to ass, I did feel like the game was a bit more interesting compared to last year's Eagles belt to Chiefs ass. The first half, it was like, 12-0. So you figured, okay, like one TD by New England and one Sam Darnold interception, they're right back in this game. So the BTA wasn't as bad as last year's, but that is 2 years in a row where the NFC done put their foots in the AFC. And all of the, elite AFC QBs, they probably should be kicking themselves because this could have been your year with my homeboy and them looking like they're going to be down for this year, maybe next year too. And that's pretty much the synopsis I have on the game. I know there's been a lot of conversation about the halftime show and the whole fucking Bad Bunny stuff. And I mean, you know what? I wasn't going to talk about it, but fuck it. Why not? I'm not a Bad Bunny fan. I'm not going to say, yeah, put that shit on. No. But I will say, I think it's okay to appreciate other music and enjoy it, even if it's something that you just don't listen to all the time or say, hey, put that shit on at the party. There's a lot of R&B songs, a lot of shit that I wouldn't say, hey, put that shit on at the party because it's just not that type of time. But to me, music is universal. I feel like if I was on that stage, I would have been fucking turned. You see all the Spanish chicks up there twerking ass? Like, who doesn't enjoy music that doesn't get the women twerking ass? I love the music to get the women twerking ass. I don't give a fuck what them niggas are saying. Like, I don't give a fuck about the language that these niggas are speaking. Like, it ain't no difference than the reggae and shit. Especially the niggas that grew up listening to that shit. I ain't get hip to the reggae shit till college. I ain't know what the fuck these reggae niggas be saying. Nigga, I'm from the Midwest. Batman fighting Robin pull up or whatever the fuck. I don't know what these niggas be saying. All I know is that it's provocative. It gets the people going and the women get to shaking ass. Hell, I don't like that shit. I just think for the most part, everyone probably enjoyed it, unless you preferred to watch their Turning Point US show, which, like, I'm not going to spend any seconds talking about that fucking nonsense. But I think it's like I said with the Kendrick show last year. I think everybody's entitled to their own opinion, how they feel about the show in particular, as long as it's not driven by racist biases and anything else that makes you a bigot. Then again, you have a stupid ass opinion and we don't care about your opinion. But at the end of the day, just let people enjoy it. I don't understand why it's such a big, like, controversy. Like, then the whole argument, oh, they technically not in the US, they a territory. I mean, who cares, bro? Like, it don't matter. You don't need a passport to go there. They speak whatever language they speak. Half of LA and Texas speak Spanish. I know it's Mexican. I'm not trying to be funny here, but I'm just saying, like, it's diverse. It's America. It's the melting pot. It's supposed to be diverse. Period. I know there's other conversations surrounding, Killmonger versus T'Challa. Let's just put it that way in our own culture at times. But listen, we better united than divided, man. I mean, clearly it's evidence today everything that's going on right now. If everybody can get together in a room and have a solid and civil conversation and understand one another and not be so stuck on their own fucking thoughts, then I think everything is fine. And that was ultimately, I think, the message of the Super Bowl halftime show, at least that he portrayed at the end, was basically, love outweighs hate and unity is better than division. Because ultimately, it's just like a game of Call of Duty. If we stacking and jumping these niggas and shooting them niggas, they can't beat us. But when you run your ass off and don't say nothing and get smoked, then now they got the advantage and they come smoke us and then we sent back to the lobby. So it's not that hard of a concept. But anyway, football's officially over. We got February rolling. I tried to tune into some basketball the other day. I couldn't find it. I told y'all last pod, I have not been watching basketball. Sometimes I can't find this shit. I went to fucking Peacock, then I went to Prime, then I finally found it on ESPN, and it was like the Knicks and the Sixers playing. And then I'm just watching, and I'm just like, you know what, Mason, take the damn TV. I don't even watch this shit. Like, I probably am not going to tune in to no ball until probably the All-Star game. World versus US might be interesting, maybe. I hope it's competitive. I hope they US try to kick their ass because, I mean, put on for us niggas. But other than that, probably playoffs, and then, I'll be a little more locked in there. But I mean, that's really it. So let's see what we got, man. Let's keep this Black History Month going and celebrate ourselves in the shortest month they want to give us. But remember, it's Excellence 365 around here. I don't know about y'all, but y'all make sure y'all keep that in mind and remember that. All right.
FMFU podcast, bitch. Thanks for listening to the FMFU podcast.
Follow me on Facebook at FMFU Experience. I'm also on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at FMFU_experience. Also check me out on Twitch for some Warzone action at ReesePup007. Remember people, life is a series of choices. Just make sure you make the right one. Peace.